Hello and welcome. Quick question. When you are lost and need direction, do you just keep pushing through or do you take a step back to regroup and gain clarity on your next steps? In today's Prosperous Heart training, I'm going to reveal a simple strategy and a simple process to help you and your team gain alignment and facilitate strategic planning. But before I forget, if you are looking for direct guidance or mentorship in your career journey, I have something to share with you at the very end, so be sure to stay tuned. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Cassandra and I'm the Prosperous Heart. I empower people just like you to create greater success in their life. And I choose to do so by breaking down the tech for programming and digital marketing into easy to understand bite-sized pieces. If you find value in today's training, please be sure to comment your biggest takeaway and share this video on your favorite platform. This helps others to improve their chances of seeing more content like this. And if you would like more from me on programming, digital marketing, human design, whatever it is that I feel may benefit you, then be sure to turn on notifications for whatever platform you're viewing this on. Now, as I've mentioned before, I'm passionate about empowering others for success. And as a projector, if you know human design, I'm driven to make things more efficient for those around me. Throughout my journey, I've had opportunities to host workshops for teams that allow them to regroup, realign, and take decisive, actionable steps forward. So when I was invited to do to do the same for a volunteer group of software developers looking to support some really incredible nonprofits, I got really excited. Not only would I be getting back to work similar to when I was leading Cisco's Data Science and AI for Good program, but I would also get the chance to recreate some templates that I previously had made, but no longer have access to because unfortunately I'm no longer with the company that I made them with. So, why does having this template matter? Because having this template will not only allow me to support the group who invited me to flex this workshop muscle, it also will put me in a better position for the roles that I'm currently applying for. Now, one of the struggles that I've had in my career are worthless meetings. You spend hours and feel like you're really not getting anywhere. But successful workshops can make it fun, engaging, and effective. And I've honestly personally found that when prepared beforehand, it has made a huge difference for my teams. Let me show you a little bit what I've got planned for this next workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, great. You can see it. So it looks like a lot. I'm going to take you slowly through this. We're going to start at navigation. So I'm going to click on this, Alt 2, or I guess it would be Command. Oops, it happens. Alt 2, Command 2 if you're on Mac, and that just zooms it in really, really, close. So I see I'm going to do this just a slight bit here, so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so basically this is going to happen in two phases due to the limitation of time for this particular team. So phase one will be the first hour, and then the next meeting will be phase two, where the actual planning will take place. So first, we're going to start with an icebreaker, which I'll show you here in just a second. We'll move into what's called a skills market, and then we'll go to a sailboat, OKRs, and that'll be the first phase wrap up, which is basically where are we, what do we want to do, and what are some of the things that are basically holding us back. Then phase two will lead to a priority map, so the team can prioritize what is most important to focus on right now. The impact and effort map, so they can determine which ones impact versus show you in a second. Sticky steps, who, what, when, and then the wrap up. Now there are a couple here like Crazy Eights, How Might We, and Grow. Those are more in support of the other pieces, which is why it says optional steps and stuff here. Okay, and then we have current status, which is status of the project. So if you go to Icebreaker, which I have it set for about 3 minutes, this is going to allow the team to kind of spend a couple minutes and create their own little avatar, right? So if you see down here, you'll just create this avatar and, you can make it as cute or not as you want. There's lots of different options, and there's a lot of templates in Miro to help with these types of icebreakers. Now there's monsters and all kinds of stuff. I like this because it was, some humans. It is semi-inclusive. I'm sure there's other ways to make it more inclusive. I couldn't find a particular template that currently does, but I thought this was a great one to just kind of have like a face to a name or whatever throughout the rest of the workshop. The next part would be the skills market. And this would allow the attendees to say a little bit about who they are. So their current skills, hidden skills, and desired skills. Now, in this particular instance for this team, we're not really focusing on training for them specifically or necessarily like directly impacting the members, but these desired skills would also allow for the team to go, oh, Susie is looking to improve her workshop facilitation. Cassandra could be a mentor to this person, right? So these are some opportunities to not only learn about the people who are on this team, but also find ways to collaborate better with each other. After the skills market, which I'm only showing a few minutes for, we would go to the sailboat, which is a very, from what I can tell, well-known process within the development world and development and workshop facilitation, not just software. And basically, there's three sections to this. The first one we have is the goal board. So we would sit down for a few minutes. I have about 5 minutes for this to as part of the process. And each person would put sticky notes on there about the goals that they want to accomplish with whatever it is that they're doing. So in this instance, what are the goals that the team wants to accomplish with these nonprofits? Then we have our drivers board. What's driving them to accomplish these tasks? The blockers board. What's blocking them from accomplishing these tasks, right? From there, you'll do what's called a theme sort. And basically, for each item in each section, does it group together? Item one and item two, are they the same? Great, and they're grouped together. If they're not, they're different sections. And from there, you can find the different main goals, the overarching umbrella of goals that you can look at. Same with drivers and even blockers. So once we have the sailboat completed, we'll move to OKRs. The OKRs is what will allow them to create objective metrics. Basically, what is it that we want to measure and what is it that we're going to be getting from that, right? So, objective number 1, 2, and 3, and each one has a different color because from there, we might use crazy eights, but due to time strengths or time limitations, this is not going to be occurring. But you can see here, that you might have certain things to do, and figure out how those would be navigated through metrics. So I'm going to go back to navigation because crazy eights is going to be an optional thing. I don't think we'll have time. And then after all those things are done, will be some time to discuss the pieces a little bit further and kind of refine them and wrap up for the next portion, which would be the next meeting again, because the time limitations. So once we've done the first phase of where are we, what are our goals, what's blocking us, phase 2 will be the actual planning portion. So the first one's priority map. And this is basically where you go to find, can I see this? This is PipDex, by the way. And if you want to see more about PipDex and Miro, then you definitely want to check out this URL right here, processheart.com/Miro. It's got a link to PipDex. This isn't a PipDex specific one, but this article that I have is about Miro. So this priority map will allow you to kind of determine, like the impact versus effort, risk versus knowledge, like other things like that. But specifically for this workshop, it would be for planning, doing now, and deferring different things that are they're looking to accomplish. From there, we have impact effort. Now it looks very similar, but the difference here is that before, your priorities are low cost and the size of the problem. And then the impact effort is high impact, or the level of impact, high or low, versus the effort, high or low, right? And so you'll be able to prioritize what's necessary now and what can be put off, et cetera, et cetera. So this would allow for critical thinking of next steps and things like that. Now, how might we is one of those things that's going to be optional just because we won't have time, but this is still here for the teams so that way they can see this when they move on to the next section. So moving back to navigation, we talked about priority map and impact effort 1. The next one will be sticky steps. So the way that this works is that you have this initial goal, whatever that end goal is, and that's based on the criteria that was created from the sailboat in this particular instance. And then you move back. Okay, so the one step prior to that goal, what would that look like? What are the pieces below that, right? And you go back and you go back and you go back. And this is a way for you to take a step back from where you want to be and going, okay, how do I get there? Because oftentimes there's so much going on that if you don't take this from a reverse view, you might get really just drilled down into the specifics that either may not be beneficial, may not be in alignment with what you're looking to do, and quite frankly, might allow you to kind of forget some steps, right? So this sticky steps will really allow the team to kind of look and figure out what are the big things that need to be accomplished and the smaller things from that. So once the sticky steps is complete, the who, what, when, so who's going to own it, what are they going to do, and by when are they going to accomplish this? And then, of course, the phase two wrap up and milestone discussion, like who, what are the final or the next phase of this, right? So this is what I am doing, or what I've created rather, for that team that invited me to do this for them. And let me go ahead and bring myself back. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. This is a workshop that was very similar to something that I've done before, but just tweaked just a little bit based on what this particular team needs. So that's it. That's the currently planned workshop. And like I said, technically 2 workshops due to time constraints, but basically within the span of 2 hours, give or take, the expectation is that the team that I'm working with, who are volunteer software developers and looking to support nonprofits, this is going to allow them to be able to be clear on where they are, where they would like to go, and the steps required to get there. So bottom line, my passion to empower others for success has led to the desire to make processes more efficient and teach others what I know. That has led to growing, well, many things, but it's also led to growing my skills in workshop facilitation in order to bring improved efficiency, direction, and clarity. So to recap, when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling misaligned, or not quite sure of your next steps, take a moment, breathe, and do some workshopping. Get your thoughts out and organized. Take the time to brainstorm with involved parties before rushing in to ensure that your teams are aligned, clear on what's needed, and minimize wasted time due to confusion and miscommunication. All right, that's it for today's training. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else, so I appreciate that you spent the time here with me today. But before I go, I just wanted to remind you that I've decided to do something new this year. I've opened up my mentorship program and I'm only offering 10 more spots for the month of April. During my career as a software engineer and digital marketer, I found that it doesn't matter if you are planning a go to market strategy for new software you've developed, you're trying to get people to attend an event, or even if you're just looking for a new job. You must learn how to leverage digital marketing channels in order to be seen by the most people likely interested in what you're promoting, and that includes you. And when you are developing software, having a mentor or a group of, excuse me, having a mentor or someone to guide you is an essential part of your career journey. And that's at least if you want to save time and money. So because of that, and because I didn't really have that myself throughout my journey, I decided that I'm going to create this new opportunity to empower those interested in growing both their digital marketing and programming skills. Because the truth is, even if you get a computer science degree like I did, technology is evolving at a rapid rate. And without a mentor or a group of people to support you, it may seem overwhelming to keep up. There's just so much. And I understand your pain. That's why I created my monthly mentorship program. So if you are looking to have direct connection with someone who has worked in both the digital marketing realm as well as software development, if you are tired of confusing trainings, lack of responses to your inquiries on discussion boards, or simply want a more human approach to learning, then my monthly mentorship program might be for you. Connect with me on whatever platform you saw this on, and we can chat about what you're looking to accomplish, where you feel you need assistance, and how I may be able to further assist you, further empower you for success in your future endeavors. All right, that's it from me for now. Thank you again so much. I hope you have a wonderful and prosperous rest of your day. Bye.